Oh my God. You're allowed to knee them like that? Ooh. She's picking her up. It feels so good to be sitting comfy in my new house in Austin, Texas. The last time I saw you guys, I was sitting in my empty apartment in Los Angeles, about to move here. I'm officially settled. I filmed a house tour video on my second channel if you guys are curious to see what I'm living like here in Austin, and the link will be in the description. And I know that the second this video ends, you're all going to immediately go watch that one, right? Okay, cool. Love you. So everyone's been in my DMs asking me to address the newest trans controversy, Alana McLaughlin. She is a transgender male to female MMA fighter who just won her official debut fight. She competed against a biologically female competitor and knocked her the fuck out. Sorry, actually it's not that funny. Like, it was really brutal. I guess it's just funny that we're at this point where it's like, this is just what's happening. You're not allowed to question it. You know what I mean? Everyone's pissed off about this. If you search up Alana's name on Twitter, it's nothing but hate. If you search up Alana on Google, it's nothing but articles of, the major players in MMA basically condemning her, saying to get the F out, you're a man, etc., etc. So with emotions running high, there's really not a more perfect time for me to step in. So Alana transitioned at the age of 30, and by transitioning at that age, she definitely allowed her body to reach peak masculinization from living with testosterone as her major hormone for the entirety of her life up until that point. So much so that prior to transitioning, Alana was trained in the special forces, and a big controversy of Alana fighting women is that Alana looked like this before transitioning. I don't know how many people do or don't know this, but hormone replacement therapy actually lowers in efficacy every single year. So by 30, it's really not going to do much other than, I don't know, I'd be surprised if it did much more than just slow down her metabolism. I mean, estrogen weight gain is real, and I do empathize with how painful it must have been to wait that long to transition. I can only imagine living 30 years of your life feeling like you're in the wrong body. Like, most of us want to rush to get our transition done because it is so painful. So waiting until 30 is something I personally couldn't imagine. However, I don't think that that justifies or puts Alana on an equal playing field with female competitors. Like, can we just stop playing dumb when it comes to this topic, like, ever? Before we go any further though, I do have to shout out my amazing sponsor, Scentbird. Y'all know it's real between me and Scentbird. I stay using Scentbird. Scentbird is a perfume prescription service online that you can shop over 600 brands. It's luxury brands, it's indie brands. It's an amazing, highly flexible subscription service that you can skip any month without any penalties. Every month for just $16, you can pick from a multitude of fragrances, and they come in these amazing travel-friendly little cases. And honestly, I travel so much, I fly so much that you can't fly with huge perfume bottles. TSA is gonna take them away, and that's a nightmare. So these are perfect. With each fragrance, you get a 30-day supply, so you can try out any fragrance without committing to a full bottle. You can also upgrade to receive 2 or 3 products a month. And sweetie, you know fall is coming. You're gonna have to switch up your fragrances. Your summer fragrances are just not gonna work. And a great way Scentbird's gonna help you pick the perfect fragrances for you is to take their quiz. So make sure to use my coupon code for 30% off. That's only $11 for your first month. It's also now available in Canada, so Canadians. So this month I received Pamela Roland, Marc Jacobs Daisy, which is a classic. Every girl had that in high school. And Sanctuary of Akita Dolphin. Love it. All right, guys, go check out Scentbird. Link is in the description. But on to the video. Let's look for ourselves. Fighting makes me very uncomfortable. I don't watch MMA, but for y'all, I'm gonna watch. Let's react together. Oh my God. You're allowed to knee them like that? Oh, she cracked her. Ooh. She's picking her up. Oh my God. That is... People watch this? No shade, but... This is just giving me anxiety. Okay, that means it's over. Ooh. So here's the thing. I swear to God that people think hormone replacement therapy is something it entirely 1000% is not. People like think of it as this light switch that you take it and then suddenly you've developed into the opposite sex seamlessly. I think maybe it's a combination of a lot of trans people wanting to believe that's true, people who aren't trans who want to believe it's true because it fits their political ideology, but that's just not how it is. It does not affect your skeleton if it has already been developed. Hand size, wrist size, having a larger upper body than lower body, those are all things that you cannot change once they've developed and you're on hormones. As stated, Alana started at age 30, and the only at least visible difference that you can see from transition to pre-transition seems to be that she lost weight, muscle weight that is. But even with that, like, the blinders that you have to have on to look at this interaction between two humans, like take out the trans part, take out any politics, take out any ideological position you have on this issue. Just look at this as like an animal observing two other animals in a combat mode, and you can clearly see which one has a higher likelihood of harming the other one. Like, I literally have full confidence that if I were to ever be in, for some godforsaken reason, which would have to be like complete and utter self-defense, if I were to ever be in a physical confrontation with a female, there are almost no circumstances that I would not be able to at least heavily defend myself to a great extent or completely F her up. Like, I just know that about myself and about my body. That's why for me, I would never put my hands on a woman ever. And I get that this is an athletic scenario, but it's still a combat sport. And sports are still segregated by sex for a reason. They're not segregated on which estrogen or testosterone prescription that you're on. In my opinion, and this is the same with Fallon Fox, the previous trans MMA fighter who cracked her competitor's skull in seconds of fighting her, the way I see it is there's no honor in these scenarios. There's no sportsmanship in these scenarios. And ironically, Alana has been quoted to have said that she wants to pick up the mantle that Fallon put down. It seems to me that Fallon put the mantle down because she was shamed by the entire world for cracking a woman's skull. Like, that's the mantle you want, girl? The audacity. Like, one side just has to be right or wrong in this debate of, is there an advantage, is there not an advantage? Like, it can't just be two sides going at it for all eternity. Like, can we just figure this out? Because according to the Trust the Science crowd, science matters until it's talking about how there are differences between males and females. So what is the truth? Advantage or no advantage? Well, according to the British Journal of Sports Medicine, which has one of the actual few studies on this topic, there aren't actually a lot of studies because this is a relative new phenomenon. Like, trans people have always existed, but it's only recently that there's just this huge uptick of like trans women wanting to be in women's sports, or being allowed, I should say. So according to the study, they found that trans women who went through estrogen therapy for 1 year continued to athletically outperform cisgender women. The gap in certain areas closed after 2 years, but even then, trans women that were studied ran 12% faster than cisgender women. And you can only expect these results to be exacerbated based on how late into your sex development you transitioned. Was it at 13? Was it at 30? But it's just crazy because all these trans athletes are coming out. Surely there's enough at this point to be starting at least the conversation of trans leagues. Like, why can't there be a trans league? Fallon Fox and Alana McLaughlin, duke it out, sisters. I want to see y'all fight. Since you want to crack this one's skull and you want to fight, let's see whose estrogen prescription is the strongest. And listen, I can see the comments now. Blaire, stop pretending like you even care about sports. What do sports really mean to you? Trans issues mean a lot to me. Clearly. I've made probably 100 videos on them at this point. I've dedicated years of my life to talking about them. I've traveled the country and talked to audiences about them. I come here and talk to y'all about them. And I also care about how bad of a look it is. Like I said before, just Google Alana's name, Twitter Alana's name. It's nothing but hate. It's just not cute. Oh, and I also don't have to justify talking about whatever the fuck I want on my channel to anyone. So anyways, I love you guys. Make sure you subscribe to this channel as well as my second channel for that house tour video I was talking about earlier. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram, not on TikTok, because I'm banned for no reason. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys. And one last shout out to today's sponsor, Scentbird, and a reminder to use my code Blaire2 for 30% off your first month at Scentbird. It means a lot when you guys support the brands that support me, and Scentbird is definitely one that I stand by. So go check them out.